everyone, I'm here with the lovely
Marcello.
Marcello.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice, that's different. And he's agreed very kindly to chat with me about dating. So without further ado, I'm going to dive into some questions,
Yes.
Marcello. So do you think, when it comes to dating, do you think it's okay to date lots of people at once whilst you're finding somebody who's right for you? Or do you like to date one person and then see where it goes and then stop and then somebody else?
You mean when you're trying to find someone for your life?
Yes.
It depends from the perspective that you know. If you try to find in a big box, it's easier maybe, but it depends from the moral of the person, I think, and from the idea of people you are dating with. Maybe they don't agree with this approach. Maybe they will completely fine. I think the most important thing is that you must be honest with people when you're dating. That's the main thing. So it's different approaches. I would say they are both equally right or wrong. It depends from the point of view of the persons involved.
I love that you're saying that as long as you're both on the same page
Yeah,
about
of
it and
course.
it's agreeable, then it's okay, whichever way it is.
Yeah.
And I really like that sense of just being very honest and upfront and caring really
Yeah,
about how it
yeah.
affects the other person. That's really nice. So how do you usually meet people when you're looking to date? Is it online, offline?
Mainly online, but sometimes it can happen also on clubs or bars. It's not so frequent
Yes.
during these years,
Yeah.
But for me, dating apps are fine. So it's it depends. I'm repeating myself. It depends from the way you use these
Yes.
apps. So it's you can date online, or it's kind of the same approach. It's easier for a contemporary era.
Yes,
now. Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's you are.
You meet so many more people so much more easily.
Yeah. What I'm not totally confident with is the approach. Maybe like Tinder, it looks like a kind of a supermarket there, but that's the way they works, and you can try to find some things to make a selection before without having this supermarket approach.
Yeah, without being so superficial that it's just about
Yes.
looks and you know.
But this is something that is very it's on the edge, It's
Yeah.
so it's very easy to have this more physical or more stupid approach, I would say.
So I guess for you it's important to find the right type of online dating app
Yes,
or
of course.
website.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the right kind of person, of course. But
Of
I'm not
course.
meaning you can see from the bios, from the pictures that they put, from the way they present themselves. Yes, that's my kind of selection.
Yeah, you do kind of read between the lines and get a sense of
Yeah.
who they are.
Yeah.
Do you think it's quite easy to do that online? Do you think you're usually quite right when you kind of have an idea about somebody, then go on a date?
No, it's 50-50.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
You can understand while talking with people, with chatting. That's the first step. So that's the first thing you can. By the conversation, the first conversation, you can understand something,
Yes.
and you can make an idea. But
Yes.
I need the first day to judge
really-
something and to someone, and to make an idea of the type of person I'm dealing with.
Yeah. So really, it is important to get the relationship offline and get to meet with them properly
Yes, that's
in
the first
person.
thing. Yeah.
Do you find that you only need the one date then to get to really know for yourself whether it's worth pursuing a second date or not? Whether you're potentially a good match? Do you think you realize after one date?
Yes, you can actually understand after one date, but sometimes maybe the person you're dating is a little bit shy, so
True.
you have to. If there is a kind of an intellectual match for me, this is something that it makes me more trustful about the future dates. Or,
Yes.
otherwise, I will just drink my beer and go home happy.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the first date is the most important one, and then you can have an idea from the conversation
Yeah.
you had previously and during the date. So
Yes, yeah. Whether your minds match, whether you're clicking, whether the conversation's
yes, of
flowing,
course.
and I think that's a really positive actually message that you actually do usually work out after one date in most cases whether it's the right person for you or not. So, you know, I think people shouldn't be afraid to really just go on a first date and
just
not
push
worry.
yourself through,
But also don't waste your time going on lots of dates when you know that really it's not for you.
Yeah.
What are some of the assumptions that you think people make about dating, or men or women, if anything at all?
I didn't understand the question, sorry.
Well, what sort of do you think there are any assumptions that people commonly make there, where they assume things about dating or about men or women when it comes to dating?
Oh yes, a lot. Yes, the majority of persons are having have this approach of assuming stuff from anything that is very it's just a signal, you know,
Yes.
that they have. So it's I don't know.
So it's important to find out more.
Yeah, of course, you have to dig deeply. You know,
Ask
into the
questions.
person. Yeah, questions, and not pretending something from the other person. You know,
Yes.
just two people meeting for the first time. So it's if you start the conversation or the approach with the other person with some ideas
Yes.
that are only in your mind, you're
Yes.
just destroying it from the beginning, because
Totally. I love that. What great advice. How do you prefer to meet someone? I don't know if I asked you this at the start, online or offline? I know you do both, but which one do you prefer?
Offline, I think.
Yeah.
It's more direct.
Yeah.
I told you I prefer to go to the first date
Exactly.
after like two lines of conversation, so it's easier to understand the person you are dealing with.
Absolutely. You feel their energy, you get to see their full
Yeah, yeah.
body language,
Yeah,
not
of
just
course,
like
of course.
chest upwards or something, or just, you know, digital typing. How do you, so obviously, you know, one of the things that people say is that it can be hard in this day and age to find, you know, meet people offline. What do you think are some of the easiest ways to meet someone offline if you're looking to date?
Just I really don't know the answer to this question. Is something that I'm thinking about a lot, but it's very difficult because you risk, as a man, I mean, you risk always to look like if you're pushing something from the woman, you know, your approach could be intrusive, very intrusive, and this is really something I want to avoid.
Yes.
So it's difficult. Maybe
So it's a
just
bit
a
of a
very nice way and polite way to do it, like
Yeah.
a piece of paper with hello, or something like this.
Oh, that's so
Could be
nice.
not so intrusive. That's the main thing.
Okay. It shows that you're interested, but it doesn't put them on the spot.
Yes, and it's giving
Comfortable. Give them
the
space.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very respectful. It's very thoughtful. Out of interest, bearing in mind that we're in a fairly Christian society, would you say that that has influenced how you think about relationships and marriage at all?
Of course.
Yeah.
It has.
In what ways would you say? Main ways?
You know, I'm Italian, so I grew up in a Catholic country, and the idea of the family, of monogamy, and of
Patriarchy.
patriarchy, yeah, it's very strong.
Yes.
And this is something that I needed to destroy during my second 20s. You know, after 25 years old, I tried to change my mind about these things that are just
So deeply embedded from when you're young.
Yeah, and that's a very strong thing that you can see even now in 2022, and it's so sad for me. It's just because it's a kind of a limit for a person to express himself, to be free, and to maybe to dig inside of your personality, you know, because you are assuming something without any insurance of that could be real.
Yes, I see what you're saying. And also you're not looking inwards enough then, I guess, perhaps because you've been told maybe that you're not meant
Assumed
to.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So would you say that then after some self-exploration in your 20s, you have adapted your ideas now to suit who you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
And you're happier for it?
Yes. Yes,
Of
very
course.
happy.
Authenticity is so important, knowing yourself and being real to who you are. So, in what ways do you think dating has changed for better or for worse?
During time,
Yeah, like over the years,
I think it's going better.
right?
Yeah, I started using dating apps like in 2013 when Tinder was just on in Italy, and I think it's going better. It's something that people develop a lot of conscious about dating, and
I
it's
think now
easier to find
especially.
someone that is thinking in the same way. Especially in Italy, that Tinder is still used a lot, like to get laid. That's the main
Yeah.
thing, and this is not the concept
That's what they
that's
say.
behind it. It's you can also have a nice conversation and go home alone, and it's fine. It's just meeting people, not pretending something from it. So I think during the years, people are starting to develop more conscious about this way of using dating apps.
I love what you're saying. So actually, even though people who tend to think of Tinder as like a hookup app,
Yeah, of course.
actually it's how you use it.
Yeah, of course. It depends from
What you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
What you're doing with it. It's not necessarily about the app. Obviously, that has an effect to an extent, but it's also about you and your attitude and your approach, basically.
That's the thing in life, I think.
Yeah,
is,
absolutely. Life is what you make of it.
Yeah.
So, do you have any funny or funny or otherwise interesting breakup or dating stories that you want to share? Only if you want to.
No, I don't know.
I put you on the spot a little bit.
I cannot think to something now, but I have some maybe bad experience to talk about, and it was like people that were finding out how tall I was, and they were just judging it, and or the color of my hair, because before I had like the blonde hair, and they were disappointed I changed it or something like this, and it was very stupid because we were just talking. And, I can understand that you are not interested by this, but you cannot judge from 5 pictures or something like this. It's crazy.
Yeah, which goes back to why it's so important to meet someone in person. So at least you can see if you're vibing with them,
Yeah, of course,
know?
of course.
And then maybe you won't give a damn what the hair color is.
Yeah. And the saddest thing is the ghosting that they do after this, because it's I find very disrespectful. I don't care a lot. I was caring when I was younger, but now I don't care it anymore, because I know that people do this all the time. But to be honest, I think that you must say something to someone,
Yeah.
and this other one will understand, of course, if you say it's not working for me. And
Definitely.
it's being honest.
And compassionate.
Yeah, of
you know,
course,
it's
human.
hard dating. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Human. It's hard dating. Last thing you want to do is just go around hurting people. I think one of the reasons why a lot of people do ghost, I mean, some do it just because they just don't care. Some people, though, do it because they don't know what to say. They feel awkward. So what advice would you give to the ladies and gentlemen out there who just weren't really interested in seeing that person again, don't know what to say? So rather than ghosting, what's a good way to...
Just say something. It's very... anything works better than nothing. It's just say I'm sorry, I'm not feeling right, with this, and it's fine. And if the other person will not understand this, it's his or her or whatever problem.
Yes.
It's
At least you've done the right thing.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I agree. It's so important just to let people know if you can, And so finally, what advice would you give to people who are out there dating and looking for romance or lasting love?
Never give up.
Ah,
That's the only one.
that's a good one.
yeah.
That's a great one, actually.
Yeah, that's the it's a struggle, so it's something that you have to go through, and it's sometimes it could be painful, or sometimes it could be amazing, and just don't give up. That's the only thing.
I love that. Oh, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
talking with me, Marcello.
You're welcome.